There was a time when the idea of finding an undervalued asset felt almost mystical to me, like something only experienced investors could do, spot hidden value where others see nothing. But as I continued my journey with Broker Capital Trade Consulting PT Ltd, I realized it's not about magic or intuition alone. It's about learning to look differently. At the beginning, I used to focus on what was already popular, assets everyone was talking about, trends that felt obvious. It felt safer somehow. But over time, I started noticing that the most interesting opportunities often live outside the spotlight. I remember reading a Review Capital Trade Consulting PT Ltd, where someone wrote that undervalued assets are quiet, not invisible. That stayed with me because it changed how I approached the search, not looking for something hidden, but something overlooked. Through Forex Capital Trade Consulting PTE Ltd, I began to observe how markets sometimes overreact. Prices move quickly based on sentiment, news, expectations, and in that movement, value can temporarily disconnect from perception. What fascinated me was this gap, the space between what something is worth and how it's currently perceived. It's not always easy to see, but once you start paying attention, it becomes more noticeable. Using ctcptltd.com, I developed a habit of slowing down my analysis. Instead of chasing momentum, I started asking deeper questions. Why is this asset priced this way? What has changed? And what hasn't? At one point, I came across a review ctcptltd.com that described undervaluation as a moment of misalignment. That idea resonated with me deeply because it framed opportunity as something temporary, something that requires patience. There were moments when I doubted my perspective, when something looked undervalued to me but didn't move as expected. And that's where patience became essential. Not everything corrects immediately. Through Forex ctcptltd.com, I saw how timing and understanding go hand in hand. Recognizing value is one thing. Waiting for the market to recognize it is another. My opinion, Capital Trade Consulting PTE Ltd became more grounded as I developed this perspective. It wasn't about finding shortcuts. It was about building awareness, step by step. I also noticed something changing within me. I became more observant, less reactive, more comfortable with uncertainty. Because identifying undervalued assets isn't about certainty, it's about probability. Now, when I look at the market, I don't just see prices, I see stories, situations, moments where perception and reality don't quite match. And those moments are where opportunity often begins. And maybe that's the most important lesson. Value isn't always where everyone is looking. Sometimes it's where fewer people are paying attention. Because in the end, identifying undervalued assets isn't about being faster, it's about being more thoughtful.